Good morning and thank you for waking up with us on this Sunday, December 20th. I'm Kristen Edwards. Meteorologist Seth Phillips will bring us the forecast in just a moment. But first, we have breaking news overnight. Congress is one step closer to passing a COVID stimulus bill. The nearly $1 trillion deal would establish temporary $300 per week supplemental jobless benefits and $600 direct stimulus payments to most Americans. It also includes a fresh round of subsidies for hard-hit businesses and funding for schools, healthcare providers, and renters facing eviction. It's the first significant legislative response to the pandemic since the passage of the CARES Act back in March. The House and Senate could vote on the legislation as early as today. And the United States is one step closer to having a second coronavirus vaccine in its arsenal. This as key CDC advisory panel has given Moderna's vaccine the green light. Yesterday, the independent group of experts unanimously voted in recommendation of the vaccine. Now, CDC Director Robert Redfield must sign off on it. The panel will meet again later today to discuss and vote on a vaccine allocations for the next phases. As for the Pfizer vaccine, the CDC says at least 272,000 doses have been administered so far. There could be extra doses in the Pfizer vaccine vials. On Friday, the head of the FDA, Dr. Stephen Hahn, told healthcare providers they could use any leftover doses from a vial. This means 6 doses could be used from one vial instead of 5. Dr. Hahn says it's safe to use those leftover doses to get as many people vaccinated as quickly as possible. This will also be true for the Moderna vaccine, which is estimated to have as many as 10 doses in each vial. UPS and FedEx trucks are scheduled to start rolling out shipments of the Moderna vaccine today. The CDC is also issuing new guidance for severe allergic reactions to COVID-19 vaccines. The agency says anyone who has a severe reaction to the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine should not get that specific vaccine. Additionally, those who react severely to an initial shot of either should not get a second shot. People who have had severe reactions to other vaccines or injections should consult a doctor before getting a COVID-19 vaccine. According to the FDA, about 1 out of every million people who will get a vaccine will suffer an allergic reaction. Now, we continue with more of our coronavirus coverage. Let's shift gears here and send it to Seth, who's tracking a soggy morning out there. Seth.
That is right. We have been having rain showers throughout the overnight. Now, most of them sitting east of Interstate 75 at this point. But this line of showers were sitting a little bit over 75 about 3 or 4 hours ago, and then a little bit further west of that. Coming in from the west, it was a cold front dying over the region, not really having much to sustain itself, but it's still enough to at least push a few showers throughout our area. So you do see some spots that are drying out, maybe getting a few little spotty drizzle showers in the background. But this is kind of the main line, and once it clears, that's pretty much it. We're just going to be sitting with cloud coverage and a cold day. Temperatures running near freezing, but above, sitting at about 38 degrees at the Bluegrass Airport. But the best we do this afternoon is going to be somewhere in the mid-40s. So it's not going to be much of a warm-up even after we see the rain eventually move out. So where we've seen showers take a break, it's now dry right through the middle section of the state. Where the rain sits, obviously pavement going to be wet, but where the drizzle showers still sit out there in the western counties, keeping things a little bit slippery on the roads. So if you're getting out and about next few hours, just keep in mind things will be a little slippery, but we will see those roads dry throughout the day as the rain comes to a close. We have a pretty active week, including that Christmas storm. We'll talk about what to expect. Coming up, your full forecast.
All right, thank you, Seth. Governor Andy Beshear says our recent slump in growth of new coronavirus case numbers is thanks to mitigation efforts. But that doesn't mean we're out of the woods just yet. Yesterday, the governor's office announced 3,388 new cases of COVID-19, with 27 more people dying from virus-related complications. The state's positivity rate also slightly fell. It now stands at 8.58%. Hospitals across the nation are warning that they simply have no room left. This comes as millions are expected to travel for the holidays. Megan Fitzgerald reports.
Hospitals already in crisis, bracing for catastrophe as millions of Americans prepare to defy health warnings and see family this holiday season amid the deadliest surge.
Just planning to stay, see grandma, see my mom, and hang out with family.
Flying is proving to be a gamble. A United flight landed in LA after being diverted to New Orleans when a passenger had a medical emergency on board and later died. The man's wife overheard telling EMTs he had COVID-like symptoms, although cause of death has not yet been determined. The airline releasing a statement saying in part, "At the time of the diversion, we were informed he had suffered a cardiac arrest, so passengers were given the option to take a later flight or continue on with their travel plans." The CDC now reaching out to passengers, but despite the risks, AAA predicting some 85 million Americans will travel for Christmas and New Year's. A similar scene from Thanksgiving, which health experts say led to the current surge where more Americans are hospitalized for COVID than ever before.
The hospitals are just too full and the staff are stretched too thin.
California is the nation's epicenter. Raman Dillon is an emergency room doctor. His hospital is operating at 270% capacity.
I go from critical patient to critical patient to critical patient, and it's like working with your hands tied behind your back.
Dozens of patients lining the hallways waiting for care, while in neighboring Los Angeles, a person dies from COVID every 15 minutes, prompting a warning from the mayor.
Simply getting together with others, whether it's one Christmas or New Year's gathering or party, could be disastrous.
Nationwide, 900 hospitals have hit at least 90% capacity in ICUs. Frontline workers feeling the strain for weeks from Colorado to Louisiana.
Every hospital in the state is full. I worry about my family.
And they worry that the worst is yet to come.
Over the past couple of weeks, more than 200 people have reached out to us here at LEX 18. They've been asking for our help getting into contact with the state unemployment office so they can get their claims resolved. Well, we've been sending those names off to Frankfort, and now we're starting to hear back from them and how they're being taken care of just in time for the holidays. You may remember last week on Sunrise Weekends when we interviewed Mike Frederick. He was owed 2 weeks of unemployment benefits, so we sent his name off to the unemployment office.
It's only 2 weeks, but I'm one of those people that kind of live paycheck to paycheck most of the time. But I just crossed my fingers and hoped that somehow somebody would take a look at my file and send me some money. Send me a check.
Just hours after we aired that interview, he got a call from a woman in the unemployment office.
It kind of blew my mind, and I asked her, I said, "You guys are working on Sunday?" And she said, "We're working 7 days a week till," I think she said 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And she said, "We're trying to get everybody their unemployment before Christmas."
By Tuesday, the money was in his account. It's a similar story for Alice Wethington. She reached out to us to ask if we could send her information to Frankfort because she was missing a week of benefits. She also passed along her mother's information. She was owed 8 weeks worth. Before she knew it, she got a call from the unemployment office.
I really did not expect to hear anything from anybody for weeks to months, and it was literally like 3 days. So I was like, yay, LEX. You guys helped me a lot, and then you helped my mother more than me.
A few days later, both she and her mother received their money. If you need help getting your claim resolved, please reach out to us at news@wlex.tv. And if we've sent your name off to the UI office, please keep us updated on your progress. Let us know if your claim has been resolved. Again, you can email us at news@wlex.tv. You can also find more information about the Rebound Kentucky online, including resources about getting back to work, making ends meet, and our previous stories. Just go to lex18.com/rebound. Stick with us. We'll be back with your weather.